07, turn right, heading 185, reduce speed 180 knots.
185 on the heading, 180 on the speed Gulf Air 007.
Speedbird 124, reduce speed 160 knots to 40 me.
Reduce 160 to 40, 124.
Hello there guys, Matt here, hope you're all well and welcome back to episode number 5 of my How to A2A Cessna 182 series. It has been a while, it's been since December I think I last did a 182 video, and I have my easy dock set far too fast. I have decided to upgrade, I don't really know if that's the correct term. I'm now running Windows 8.1, which actually initially started of me trying to go to Windows 10, but it didn't work out as well as I would have hoped. So we're on Windows 8.1. I've ditched FSX. Sorry, people. For now, I've ditched FSX, and I'm just sticking with Prepared and X-Plane for the foreseeable future, which brings me on to this bad boy, the A2A Cessna 182 in P3D. Looks amazing. Far better than it does in FSX. The shadows, everything else, the way it works with HDR is very, very nice. So, on to the task in hand. So this is part number 5, and we are at Cumbernauld. We landed there in the last video, obviously part 4. And we're going to head down to the northeast coast of England to a place called Fishburn. It's just kind of north-ish of Durham, south-ish of Newcastle. And at the moment, we are in kind of central Scotland, so there's a bit of a way to go. A little bit of a difference in what we're going to do today is that we're not really going to be navigating that much apart from to get out of this place. Once we're out of Cumbernauld and we're south of Glasgow and Edinburgh's airspace, we're going to track one VOR, and then from that we're going to go exploring the Pennines, and then we'll pick up some visual reference points. And that will be our form of navigation, as opposed to VOR to VOR or tracking things. It's not necessary. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to fly over the Pennines. We're actually going to go near Carlisle. I know a few of you asked for me to go to Carlisle, but I want to wrap this up in 8 parts, and we're already on 5. And if I went to Carlisle, I wouldn't be further enough south to finish it in time. So Fishburn is northeast coast. I've not been there yet in any of my videos, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. A little bit different. I've only just reformatted my computer, so I have the Golf Bravo Delta India Golf paint back on. But if we go into the virtual cockpit like this, you will see that the VC is a little bit different. It's blue and there's no GPS because I haven't reinstalled the GPS, but we don't need it. That is fine. But yeah, the VC is blue, so it's all good. I fueled her up. We've got more than enough fuel, and we're only taking one passenger, actually, we're not even taking a passenger. We're taking the pilot, and that is it, nothing else. So, as all of my videos with the 182 start, the owner's handbook and doing the upon entering cabin checklist. Now, first of all, let me just make sure that everything out of the aircraft is disconnected. So, pilot cover. Oh my god, as if I just said pilot cover. Pitot cover. Wheel chocks, and what else was it? Tie downs are all gone. Control lock's fine because that's part of the checklist. So, airplane weight and balance. Well, I already did that before I started the video. Parking brake is set, but we can just reset it to make sure it's all set properly. Control wheel lock can come off now, and I'm going to hide the yokes while we do this pre-flight stuff. Sorry, we're going too fast here. Ignition and avionics is off, and the master switch, well, we can turn that on, but just make sure. See, this is an example that I never run into. Okay, if I flick the master switch on now, the flap lever is in the up position, but the flaps are down, so it's going to draw an immense amount of power out of the battery, and considering we're not generating any power, it's not really going to work that well for us. So we need to make sure that this is all the way down, and then we can turn on the master. But the whole point of the master is actually to extend the flaps, but whatever, it's okay. So check the fuel quantity. Now the master switch is on, you can see it's here. We've got more than enough. We've got, what, 30 gallons in each tank thereabouts. It's more than enough for what we need even to go down to Fishburn. The static pressure alternate source valve is selected to off, and the fuel selector valve can go to both, like that. The cowl flaps can come open all the way, and the flaps are already extended, so we can now turn the master switch back off. stop us draining the battery. Okay, so engine start. Make sure that all my levers are working properly. There we go. So we have not touched this aircraft. It is a very cold day. As you can see, it's raining. So it's not going to be a warm start at all. So we need to do every single step. So step number 1, the throttle needs to be cracked a little bit, which it is. And then the mixture is all the way out. Prop control, which is the blue lever, all the way in. And then the master switch can come back on. And we can stick the beacon light and the nav light on. And from that, we can make sure the cowl flaps are open. And we can put the fuel pump on with a bit of mixture in, just to get some positive fuel flow. You'll see it eventually start to creep up, which it just has done. We can actually stick all the mixture in. It makes no real difference because we're going to turn it off in a minute. So let that prime for a couple of seconds. And done. Back out with the mixture. And then we can open the window. Shout at the top of your voice. Clear prop. Close the window. And then, hopefully, first time lucky, we should be able to spin the prop and it actually start. There we go. In with the mixture. Well, that was a result. Not many times I start this thing and it does it first time, which is cool. Anyway, set a K RPM, 1000 RPM on here. Oil pressures, all the T's and P's are about to climb into the green, just about here. And everything looks good so far. Okay, so the navigation lights are on, avionics can now come on, and the radios can also come on, which they're doing right now. We're on VATSIM 122.8, 7000 in the transponder for VFR, and we can now retract the flaps as we are done with them. Trim is set for takeoff, it's all good, and we're not going to be using any flaps for this departure. Flaps aren't really required here because the runway's pretty long. But what we do need to do is sort out some sort of demist, defrost thing. So let me just do this, and fingers crossed that will be enough to clear the windows, he says. But warming rapidly, very good. Maybe I don't want to warm it so much. There we go. See the windows? If Easy Dock would stop doing that, then you see the windows are clearing quite nicely. You can just use this to gauge how fast or how slow things are happening. So if we just push that in now like that, and the ventilation really doesn't make a difference, but defrost is good. We can probably keep that all the way, to be honest, because it's pretty cold. Anything in there? Nope. It's all good. Right, we'll bring the yokes back on that side so we can see what we're doing. The next checklist is the before takeoff checklist stuff. We're going to taxi out to runway 26 here at Cumbernauld. Actually, I think we'll just enter from the next left and then backtrack, spin it around, and away we go. So, we'll do all of the before takeoff checklist even right now, and then we don't have to mess around when we get there because it's only a small taxi. So seatbelts and doors, well, I'm strapped in. Are you? Probably not. Flight controls, that's a good point. We should probably test them. So we can test all of the surfaces here, which actually affect the characteristics of the aircraft, even though we're stationary. Same for the rudders, all the way in, all the way to the right as well. And the flight instruments are all set and checked. Oh, I don't know if that's a sign that something bad's about to happen. We can probably bug the runway heading, so about 260 thereabouts. It really makes no difference. What I do want to do is tune Tala, which is the VOR we will be tracking eventually, and Tala is on 113.8. So we'll tune 113.8 to here, and then eventually we will pick that up. There we go. Good. Right, the fuel quantity again is checked, mixture rich, even cowl flaps open. I can't talk today. Fuel selector valve is both, throttle 1800 RPM, this is for the run up. We can do this right now, it's fine. So 1800 RPM, so 15, 16, 17, and 18. There we go. And what we want to do is check the left mag. All is good. Kind of. Yeah, it's okay. Back to both. Let it stabilize again. Right mag is okay. and back to both, and then we can cycle the prop as well, which I forgot how to do. I think they said do it 3 times, so you pull it all the way out, let it feather, back in, all the way out, back in, and then all the way out, and then back in. I actually want to just check something, because I wasn't quite happy with that left mag. Is it stable? 16, 17, 18, it is. Let me just go back to the left side. Getting about a 75 drop. We'll be okay, it's fine. I could probably just blast it on that mag and we'd be okay. I think someone said if you just do this and then put it in full power, you can kind of like blast the issue out of the engine. As much as I want to believe that, I'm hoping it's true, because you can do that with a 172 or something. I guess it'll work the same. Okay, let me just bring that back now. We'll put it back on both. 18. Let's go back to left. Yeah, actually, that's worked. It has. Okay, cool, nice. Right, okay, well with that, elevator trim is set, and we can bring the power back to a K now. 1,000 RPM, I don't know why I keep saying a K. There we go. The flaps are not necessary, so that's the, well, that's everything done. We can taxi out. So pitot, taxi, and that's it, done. So let's taxi out to runway 26. So brakes are released. We'll just let it roll forward on 1,000 RPM. It should be able to do that itself with very little effort. Now, I love the fact that in the Cessna, unless you are, well, I'm 6 foot, kind of, well, I don't really know, 6'4", 6'5", something like that. And I can see over the top of a Cessna when I'm sat in it, so, but apparently not many people can. It's, you kind of feel like you're pointing towards the sky. So, runway is clear, everything is good. We can taxi it on to the runway, and we can turn the transponder on. I think it's actually already on for some reason. And EasyDock is being crazy, as always. Okay, so we can get all the lights, landing lights. We have a strobe. How nice. I really can't see over the nose here. It's a little bit annoying. So I'm just going to push the view up like that. And then we'll spin it around at the end. And away we go. Actually, I think there was a taxiway that went all the way to the end. Maybe not, I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm sure that they do this in real life if they had to. Right, let's spin it around. On the diff brakes, off the diff brakes, preferably not going off the runway would be nice. I think we're okay there. Okay, so here's runway 26. So our departure is going to take us off from here, and then we're going to fly about a 210-ish heading, and then turn left. We cannot climb above 2,500 feet because Glasgow airspace is right above us. So yeah, we have to stay below that, but we'll be okay. We'll do that. Okay, so let us go. Max power, and away we go. It will take literally no time at all to get in the air. There's 60, and we're airborne. Very nice. So we'll just climb on this until we'll do 1,000 feet because this is quite high around here, and then we'll turn left and fly that 210 heading. That trim was beautiful. I don't have to actually do very much. Very good. Okay, so passing 1,000 now. We'll start the left turn to 210. Or thereabouts. Kind of a southwesterly heading. It's really not too bad if we miss the exact 210 heading. We can carry on climbing up, passing 1,300 feet. Start trimming out for level flight. Thereabouts. I'll bring the power back a bit. Oh, okay. 1,500. Very nice. Scenery is beautiful. I wonder how FTX England and Scotland are going to merge together. That will be an interesting sight to see if it actually merges properly. I think it probably will, knowing Orbex, but hey, who knows? Maybe it won't. Good old rain. Now, normally, I did say that we wanted to track Tala, which is Tango Lima Alpha, and I've set that in nav 1, and my plan initially was to just take off and turn left to track it, but then when I looked, if we did that, we'd actually clip Edinburgh's airspace, which would mean I would be level capped at 1500 feet, and I didn't fancy trying to keep a 182 at 1500 feet. It's not fun, so I figured that if we went this way, as long as we stay below 2500, then it wouldn't be too much of an issue, which it isn't at the moment. It's all fine. So that's the plan. I'm just seeing if we can spin it so we can see it. My obs is going crazy. Right, it wants to go the other way. Maybe if I scroll, will scrolling work? There we go, that's fine. Let's scroll. So, it should be about, I don't know, there we go, around here somewhere. There you go, 150, 140. 150-ish. Okay, so we'll turn to that now. And that'll roughly put us in the way of Tala. I'm not after like tracking it to perfection, don't worry about that. I know that if I get to Tala, then life is good. It's about that area which we'll see the Pennines, and then we can fly over the Pennines and go from there. So we'll roll out on that heading there. It's fine. And we have to stay below 2,500 feet, so pretty much that is what we have to contend with now. So we'll sync up the heading, like so. We'll set the altitude, like so. I'm just going to do like 2,300 feet. We'll turn the autopilot on. We'll do heading select, and I guess we could do nav. Nav would work. Nav would track us perfectly. So if we do like, hang on. If we do that, oh no, hang on, alt, push forward, because otherwise we're going to bust someone's airspace. Very good. I forgot to arm the altitude even. I always get it wrong in this, and I don't know why. But no, it's still trying to climb, so let me take the autopilot out a minute and figure this out. There we go, my aircraft. I still don't understand the autopilot on this thing, because you put the altitude in. Let me just trim it so we don't climb above it again. We still haven't technically bust, so we're okay. If I trim it, come on, trim. I'd rather be in a descent than a climb at this point. So if we do arm, alt, I don't understand this. So turn the autopilot on. No, actually nav, we'll do nav. And then we'll do alt, arm. Is that it? Are we good? Down. Alt, down. Down. 200. It's already armed, so surely when it gets to 2,300 feet it should just stop. I think I've done it. I think that's it. I think it's good. Yeah, it's good. I think it's going to level there. So, we will keep the power where it is. And we will just ride that for a minute and wait until we're outside of Glasgow's airspace, which is it's actually not Glasgow, it's a Scottish TMA, but for the sake of saying Glasgow, we'll just say it. Cloud looks pretty deadly today. Okay, so we climbed up to 5,300 feet because why not? And I thought, oh, you know what? I'll give you a bit of a sightseeing tour of the Pennines. Turns out the weather has different ideas. Can't see anything. At the moment, Carlisle is just off to our right, kind of down there. You can't really see it. But we're currently tracking kind of north. No, we're not going north. We're going south, eastbound across the top of the Pennines. And eventually we should be able to pick up some sort of visual representation of a place called I don't even know, Holt Whistle. There you go, Holt Whistle. That's what we're routing towards now. Holt Whistle, then down into the Derwent Reservoir. The reservoir will be relatively simple to see, I hope. But yeah, weather is not fun, and you know, it's the problem with flying in the UK. It's the most well, it's not unpredictable. You always know it's going to be terrible. But I thought the Viz would have been a little bit nicer than this. But hey ho, it's going to be interesting trying to find Fishburn in this weather, considering it's a grass strip with a very, very small runway with not much in the way of referencing points nearby. Apparently there's a quarry or something, so we may have a look at that. But yeah, for now it's just a case of looking at misty kind of landscapes and whatever else. Yeah, great. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that I couldn't really show you more, but at the moment we're just approaching the overhead of Durham, so this is pretty much Durham just below us, and Fishburn is just to the south of Durham. There's an A road just under us now to the right hand side, see it down there, and it's kind of down that way somewhere, so I'm gonna have to circle around and try and find it. The visibility is not being too great. But it's fine because there is no real airspace to contend with here, so I'm not too bothered. The engine sounds like it's running a little bit rough. I'm hoping that that's just a glitch or something, but it probably isn't, knowing A2A. It's probably something legitimately wrong that I don't know about. So we're just passing, let's see, 2,500 feet, and we're just going to descend down, and hopefully at some point we will see it. It's a grass strip. I know that much. I should have probably done a little bit more research of the area. I know it has a runway 2608, so it's an east to west runway, which means we will be landing on the western side, so we'll be landing on runway 26. It's sloped, I know that much, but FSX doesn't really model sloped runways, so that's not really a problem. But as far as anything else goes, it's been a relatively straightforward flight. Just spent the majority of it above the clouds. But yeah, I'm just seeing if I can see anything anywhere. We're just leaving Durham now. I think actually, hang on a minute, I remember being told that there's a quarry, and if you look up just ahead of us, there is a quarry. So perhaps if we head towards that, then we will possibly get a visual on the runway. The joys of wanting to have a GPS. I mean, we do have one, but I'd rather not use it. There's some wind farms over there. So let's just see if we can just look and see if we can see it anywhere. There is a quarry. That is a definite quarry. Now, is it to the right or to the left of the quarry? You would think it would be possibly. There's another quarry there. Okay, this is getting interesting. There's two quarries. Which one do I pick? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if we can. If you can spot this, if you're a viewer and you watch in 1080p and you can spot it before I do, then please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear whether you did spot it. Hang on a minute, is that it there? Let's zoom into that. There it is. Found it. There it is. There's the east to west runway. Excellent. So essentially, from where we are now, we are on a right downwind for runway 26. So there is the quarry, which is what I was told was nearby. And yeah, it's there. It's exactly there. There's some wind farms, so we can start to slow down and descend now. We know where it is, which is nice. I've lost visual with it. I know it's. Oh yeah, I see it there, just off the right-hand side. So we can turn right now, I guess. Grass strips are always fun to land on. I don't know if any of you have tried it in the real world. It's interesting. It's interesting. A lot of back pressure. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Excellent. Okay, so we can start to slow down then. So we'll idle the power. We'll keep that descent rate going. We're on essentially a right base now for runway 26. Yes, I can see it. Look at that. I tell you what, the terrain around here is glorious. FTX have really modelled it quite well. Okay, so I'll knock a notch of flap out just to slow us down before we turn that corner, which is going to happen relatively soon, pretty much now, to be honest. There it is. There it is. So there's 80 knots. And then I'll stick the rest of the flaps down once we're on final. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. It's a small little grass strip right in the middle of nowhere on some sort of hill. Well, not really a hill, it's just the contour of the ground is interesting. I'm not in the business of greasing grass landings, I just want to get it on the ground. So, there we go. Flap 20 and then flap full. We can just bring them all down in one go. Looking good. 70 knots. Just keep that in now, so we'll do about 65, between 65 and 60. I have a tendency to float the 182. A lot of people say that they do that. It's fine, I suppose. Taxiway is so weird, it's like behind a hedge. Here we go. Start to idle the power now. And then hopefully by the time we flare, we'll hear a stall warning. Oh, we're back up again. And there we go. And we're back up again. Yeah, me and 182s never work out very well. But it's fine, we're down. That's all that matters. Yeah, here it is. This is Fishburn. I don't know why landing this thing is so difficult. I need like a masterclass in how to land a 182. But yeah, I'd love a masterclass on how to land this thing properly. Let's go strobe. Everything else is fine. We could just park up next to this cub, I would imagine. I don't really know where. What, is there anything else here? There's a cub. There's a couple of cubs. There's a PC, not a PC-12. Piper. Not a Piper. The thing that they use in the Suzia. What are they called? Mauls. 12 something. I can't remember what the name of the aircraft is. Anyway, we'll just stick it here. We'll spin it around here. And that was really bad parking, so we'll go to the right a little bit. Come on, you can do it. That's it. We'll face kind of southish. That'll do. Actually, it's 26, isn't it? So we'll face 170, and then that'll look a little bit more even. So about there. Good! Job is a good one. Parking brake set. Now we can ditch the lights now, and ditch everything really. Pull out all of the levers. Get rid of the lights, beacon, pitot, avionics, master, the lot. Very, very quick shutdown. Yeah, that landing was horrific. I don't know, this is Cessnas, man. The 172 is actually not too bad to land. You can kind of gauge that really well. But this thing just has... I don't even think it's ground effect. I don't know what it is. Normally, when you land like a 172, you can come over the threshold at like 60 knots, and by the time you're in the flare, you know, the stall warning is going off. But I've never had a stall warning in the 182, so I'm obviously doing something wrong. I need to kind of bash some circuits out in it and just properly understand the physics of how to land it. But yeah, apart from that, it's been a pretty good flight. I hope you enjoyed it. So now we're in Fishburn. So after this flight, or after this, no, not this flight, but in the next episode, we're going to carry on making our way further south. And as always, I say that if you want somewhere to be featured, then just let me know. And if the suggestion is suitable, then we'll head there. But we have to go south. So it's either going to be somewhere like Leeds or, I don't know, perhaps Sherburn. You know where Sherburn is down south. Or maybe a bit further south than that, even perhaps, I don't know, as far as... I kind of want to go to Netherthorpe, really, so maybe we'll visit Netherthorpe, and then once we've done that, we'll kind of cut across country, eventually getting to Wolverhampton, Halfpenny Green. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, take care all, and goodbye.